Hello, my makeup loving friends. How's it going? Welcome back. It has been another week, and we have a new week's worth of makeup releases to talk about. And with me, I have the fabulous, gorgeous Chloe Demure from Save the Victory Roll. You know the drill. She has her own YouTube channel, which I am linking down in the description box. And she has like an Instagram. I'm going to put all of that down there so you can go and stalk her just how God intended. Okay? And come July, once my schedule is less busy, I'll be back on Chloe's channel talking about all sorts of stuff, because we like to do petty betties type thing. So if you like to hear people giving critiques about shit, then that is the one for you. We'll be back into that in July. However, let us talk about the new makeup releases. I have to say a big thank you to Brianna, Ali, Beth, Gillian, Trendstopia, Makeup Release Radar, Amelia, Kylie, Shanna, Buttons, Annie, Cecily, Chrissy, Miss Charlie, Lisa G, Kirsten, Gina, Flick, Susie, Tia, Sue, Tina, Anna, Amy, Eve, JW, Claire, Katie, Manuela O, Kelly, Emily, Saz, Daniela, Laura, Manuela T, Rebecca, Tony Homeperm, and Jade S. Big thank you to you all. You know the drill. If you didn't tag me in shit, this would be an exceptionally short episode. So big thank you to you all. And a big thank you to my Patreons. You're an excellent bunch of human beings. And we have some birthdays this week. A big happy birthday to Manuela, to Missy, Amanda, and to Charlotte. Hooray! There's a lot of May birthdays. Like
there is.
I have an Excel sheet for like all the months, and like there's some months where it's only like 2 people, and then May is like there's 20 of us. And I'm like, oh, like just constantly writing cards or happy birthday. But yeah. Anyways, I couldn't really think of a theme because I'm shit at this. So I just was like, what was our big thing that we were talking about over the last week was all about the fucking blush. There was so much interesting blush, and of course there was the of the Mitchell and the Be Perfect. So I was like, let's make our look be all about the blush. Believe it or not, I do have a lot of blush on. The lights have just washed me out. So
yeah, got a whack on today too. All the orange blush. Which is all I've been buying lately. Speaking of blushes, I think I have like 3 on the way, and then there's some more coming out on Friday. And I'm like,
I have been on a blush kick. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Anyways, some of my Patreons have also gone all about that blush, so I'm going to show you their pictures now. Have a perusal. But let us begin by talking about some of the new makeup that has come out. And the first thing that kind of really came out that was semi-interesting this week was She Glam, aka Shein. And they have their Skinfluencer Foundation Balm. So there's 30 shades in all. It says that it's a foundation with a silky texture that feels like second skin. It gives you full coverage, which I'm like, okay, if it's a balm, I'm kind of a bit confused. And then it's lightweight, buildable, long wear, and they say that they have active ingredients to moisturize. And I do like that the compact is recyclable. That does make me quite happy. This is kind of going along with the general like balmy type foundations that we've been seeing a lot of late. And I know I had a few people like messaging me kind of going, Vanessa Merrick's dupe, and I was like, it's trying to be, but it isn't. Like if you look at the ingredients, they're not the same. Like, you get what you pay for, That being said, I've already bought this. It's coming its way to me because I'm like, fuck it. It's €8. What harm could be had from smashing this onto my face? That does feel like very famous last words. But yeah, I do like that they have a decent shade range. And
it's one of the better ones for sure. Most of the balms I see are 4 to 6, maybe, right? So this is really good. I have the Danessa Myricks on today. I'm really, really enjoying it. So I guess she's a little bit ahead of the trend because now I'm seeing more and more of these come out.
Because I swear, since I saw your video on Danessa Myricks, I've had that on my list, but they don't have it on Cult Beauty and they don't have it on Beauty Bay. And I'm like, I'm going to bide my time until it comes to one of those sites, and then I'm going to get it because you convinced me. So
Oh, I've been obsessed with it, and you can use it in so many different ways. I've even used it as a primer with other foundations. It's amazing. Yeah. So here you can get it through Beautylish and Sephora. So I grabbed it at Sephora, but this is pretty tempting to me, just to be able to kind of do a comparison to see what something that's like maybe $10-12 Canadian, because that's probably what it's going to be, to a $50 balm from Danessa. So this may be tempting for me to pick up as well.
I would love to see your thoughts on that. Like, I've looked at the ingredients between the two, and there isn't really much of a similarity, but I'd like to see what the finishes are. Like I said, I'm getting it myself. I like that they have a decent shade range. I even like in the promotional pictures, they have people of different genders, different sizes. And for me, that's really important, because I mean, myself and Tia have talked about that before, that even just like swatching on people different sizes makes us feel that little bit better, because it's like, oh, I see somebody that looks like me.
100%. Yeah, no, it's good. And then of course, all the examples go from the palest pale to the darkest dark, which is absolutely fantastic. So this is a win just on the amount of colors and then price, but how's the formula? So yeah, this may be something I may pick up, just because I love the Danessa one, and I'm very curious to see what a $10 one versus a $50 one would be like.
I want to see a dupe video comparison. Do it for the science. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Yeah, I mean, this is super on trend. It's affordable. I don't hate it. Interestingly, though, when I put it to you guys, you're all cold and dead inside, or maybe it's that you want a cake on your foundation, to which, fair enough, we all like our own things, but 33% if you loved it, which honestly I'm still a little bit confused by, but to each their own. And speaking of confusion, this is Maybelline, and these are straight out of the early noughties. These are shadow blocks. They're essentially trios, and initially I was like, these look semi-interesting, but I realized it was actually the color of the packaging was the thing that I found interesting, not the colors of the shadows that were in there. Because like when you looked at the picture of them actually showing all of the shades together, I was like, oh, that's rather lackluster. That's quite because initially I was like looking at that purpley one, I was like, okay, that's quite nice, the Broadway and Prince Street one. But then when you look at the shadows, it's like there's one deep kind of shimmery purple, and then the other two are practically the same shade of paley lilac.
But it's better than that green one.
Oh, don't talk to me about the green one.
The one green shade and two beiges. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Kaja bento boxes. And
that's then the what I thought as well. That's exactly what I thought. And
then Morphe tried to do something similar after that as well.
Yeah, Morphe too came out with it. More like Morphe was trying to do a revolution. We're like, here, I'm trying to do sub brands, and I was like, no, dare. But yeah, Morphe too came out with those, which was sort of like a mixture between this and like when Melty used to do the stack mops.
Stacks, yeah.
So yeah, it's like, I think it's an interesting concept, and I know a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, this would be decent for travel, to which I say, just like, there's loads of really good, affordable mini brands that you can get. Like, I love my Elf, the mini, the jalapeno. I know you didn't like the mint one, so
I didn't like the mint one, but I like the original formula seems to be better. So I have, I think, 3 from the first set they released, and I really enjoyed those. But the stuff that they've released after, I've not liked as much. But at least they're cruelty free, where Maybelline unfortunately isn't. So even if I was interested, I couldn't do it. So
yeah, totally fair. I mean, I don't think this is gonna like set the world alight, and I think there are much better, like more affordable, ironically, travel options out there that you could get. I mean, when you think about it, you could get yourself like a Beauty Bay 9-pan palette for around about the same price. So,
or Juvia's Place with their 4 pans and their 6 pans, which will have a more cohesive color story, where you can at least do 2, maybe 3 looks versus the possible 1, unless you're a one and done type person, and you and I are definitely not, for the most part, a one and done type makeup user. So I don't think this is definitely in our wheelhouse.
No, but obviously not everything can be for us, or I'd
Could be
be
even more
under the
broke.
bridge. Yeah, very upsetting. Yeah, I mean, there's something weirdly nostalgic about this. This feels like something I would have gotten maybe as like a prepubescent teen, you know, kind of being like, oh look, Teresa's first makeup. It feels very like pound shoppy, that it comes with, you know, those silicone applicators. Like it feels like it's one of those, you know. You're definitely not paying for a luxe experience, and obviously drugstore is increasing in price all the time, and I feel that personally this is more expensive than it should be for what you're getting for it, because I believe they're $10 each, so I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion.
No,
not
when indie brands are doing
killing it.
At low price points as well, like Rude Cosmetics, right? That's another, you know, small brand where their quality is great and their price is minimal. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's other options out there. Don't know how Maybelline still exists, but there you go. When I put it to you guys, 25% of you love it. So there you go. And speaking of love, love, which isn't really found on Love Island. It's more like, you know, love you for a short time island, but there you go. Anyways, in the collaboration that makes absolutely no sense, Love Island have collabed with Makeup Revolution. I just want to know who set up that meeting, like who approached who. It was obviously Makeup Revolution, just kind of go, we're desperate, and Love Island are like, somebody's desperate, that's exactly what we like. It's shit is the nicest way of saying it. There's a load of palettes, they're literally coming out with all sorts, like there's water bottles and like eau de parfums and body butters, which by the way look frighteningly like Sol de Janeiro's. Like,
I was just gonna say that. I was like, oh, is this a mixed up picture, or did they put this in by accident?
But even like when you look at the perfumes, they're the same sort of bottle as Vera Wang. So
that too.
And then, I mean, can I even talk about those eyeshadow palettes? The most interesting one is the one at the bottom right-hand corner that has the yellows and the pop of pink. But then if I take out that pop of pink, I'm like, oh, well, that's quite dull.
Yeah, or the other one with the pop of blue. It's like, are we not over the pops of blue and pops of pink yet? Like, is Revolution wanting to be the new Too Faced?
Well, Jared Blandino has stepped down, so maybe Adam is assuming the crown now, and he's like, pop of blue, we must put blue everywhere. Okay.
100%. Yeah, no, this is another lackluster, cash grabby. What TV show haven't we done a collab with, or nobody else has done a collab with? Like Love Island, do you really think makeup?
Like, I will say the reason why nobody else has done a collab with Love Island is because it's shit, and nobody else would think that it was a good idea. I mean, Love Island has like had so much controversy over the last couple of years, just in terms of like people's mental health. And then Revolution have gone, yeah, we'll just jump onto this boat. And I was like, oh lads, what are you doing? I think it is several shades of terrible, and oddly enough, not very removed from each other. They're all the exact same shade. And if you look at, like, say, the bronzers, I say bronzers, there's one bronzer, it's one shade, and one highlighter.
Yeah, and that bronzer, who's it going to work for?
I mean, don't get me wrong, if you look at Love Island, it's primarily Caucasian people, because we're the only ones foolish enough to put ourselves in front of that sort of a firing line. Everyone else has more sense. It's terrible. It's actually like there's nothing good to say about this. No.
I'm just happy we can't get most of this stuff in Canada. We get so little Revolution. If we get anything new, it's the base products, but like shadows, powders, that sort of stuff. I think we're probably like 20 releases back in what's available.
Good.
So I don't have to worry about seeing this in person.
That way, you know, I can just imagine you going around like with like a cross, just going, be gone, get thee behind me. Yeah, it's terrible. Don't want to talk about it anymore. But 8% if you love it, which frightening. Thank Christ though, little palette cleanse right now. This I am interested in. This is a new indie brand, and this is called the Culture Cosmetics. And like I said, this is their very first product. It's called the 400 Years Palette, and it apparently represents the history, beauty, and resilience of the subcultures created from the African diaspora. And I gotta say, everything down from like the palette itself to their promotional pictures is, in my opinion, perfection.
Yeah, no, as soon as I saw that a few days ago, I went right away to their website and registered for the release. Just that red and that green, they just like, and that purple, like they just grabbed my attention right away. And the packaging is just stunning.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
wow.
they've hit the nail on the head. The one thing I would change is instead of the brown on the very bottom left-hand corner, I would have a black. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Sure. Everything else, perfection. They even have a white in there. I think for a first launch, this is solid. If you look at the palette itself, you're so clear as to where they're getting their inspiration from. Like you don't even really need it explained to you. You're like, yeah, I can see this. And like just the colors. This is, well, look, myself and Chloe, we both love this sort of thing. We love a bit of color, we love a bit of vibrancy, and I think this just kind of speaks to our little hearts. I think this will be a fun sort of a staple palette to dip in and out of and get like your pigments involved to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. I'm interested in this, and I'm interested to see what else they're going to come out with, because this is titillating.
And another, again, woman-owned brand, like that's right up my alley. Like I'm all about women-owned brands, and yeah, this is definitely something I would like to support for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I don't have anything negative to say. Like I said, the only thing would be just have the black shadow in there. But fuck it, if you're like me, you already have a favorite black eyeshadow and you can dip into that. It's the black and meet me in the underworld. But I think this is fabulous. When I put it to you guys, the rest of you were just as excited. I had quite a few people even on TikTok asking me like, what was the brand? Where could they find it? So like, yes, very excited to see other people excited about this. 61% of you loved it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of the most exciting things that we have this week. I'm afraid, lads, it's a bit downhill from here. I apologize. And speaking of downhill, Colourpop just regurgitating their shit now. I initially was like, oh, I think this is kind of semi-interesting. And if anyone knows me, they'll know why I kind of went, oh, interesting, green. I saw green and I lost my stupid little brain, like teeny tiny size of a marble brain. I was like, green. And then I sat and talked to myself, as I often do. And I looked at it and I was like, there's about maybe not even 9 shades in there that are interesting. And the rest of them are shite.
Now that's the first thought that came to my head, that maybe 9-pan palette tops, but
not a 30-pan.
No, for sure. And I'm also one of the few people that are not totally in love with Colourpop. It's everything I've ever gotten from them is either been or there's been something wrong where it's broken, or there's always been some, for me anyways, there's always been some kind of trauma with almost everything I've bought from them. So for myself, I'm kind of over it. I occasionally look at a color store and go, oh, that's nice, but none of it ever makes me want to pull the trigger anymore.
I love that they've called it like the getting fresh, and I'm like, really, what's this about? There's also going to be some bronzers as well, because you know it's summer and we're going to pretend that we've seen the sun. And they have more of their like glossy lip things, which at least they do go pretty dark, which I think is pretty decent. That being said, though, it's been a really long time since I've seen anything from Colourpop that I find interesting. They're hard to get here. And by the time that they do eventually realize that I've ordered from them and they've decided to ship, it's months down the line. So I'm like, there's absolutely no fucking point. Like, I get it and I'm almost like, what did I buy again?
Yeah, 100%. Yep. They're even slow in the States. Like people, even the US says it takes them X amount of time till it ships. And then shipping to Canada, of course, it goes by Pony Express. Yeah. So the time it comes in, they're 12 releases later. So yeah, so for reviewing purposes, there's definitely 100% no point to it at all. Unless I'm doing a better late than never if something would catch my attention. But They
Yeah.
said it rarely does. If this would have been a 9 pan with most of those greens,
I'd have been tempted. I'd have
maybe.
thought about it.
Yeah.
But like, I'd have to really want something from Colourpop to go and get it. Not just like a, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I'd want to like have every waking moment obsessing over this thing, and I just don't with Colourpop. They really just don't do it for me. I know a lot of people like really stand by their formula. I think their formula is grand. It's okay for the price, but I wouldn't be like jumping up and down being like, oh my god, it's another man, ever. Like if one of my Colourpop palettes got smashed, I wouldn't go out and repurchase it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's just okay. Like their formula for me is nothing to rave about. And again, I can get stuff easier, cheaper, that's way better quality, right? I'd rather go to Rude Cosmetics again and pick up some stuff from them than go through Colourpop.
Absolutely. And when I put it to you guys, 39% of you love it. So I think we're all getting quite fatigued with Colourpop. And this is, again, a new enough brand. This is About Face, which was launched by the singer Halsey. And they've kind of been popping up with a couple of different bits and pieces over the last couple of months. They already have some eyeliners, like their bright colours, but they have added to it now. And this is their effing eye collection. And I was very confused by the promo pics because there was boobs involved.
Right?
And I was like, have I been doing eyeliner wrong? So obviously I had to take all of my eyeliners and just like sketch around my areolas.
Yeah, to be like, up here, look up here.
Like, oh, that's what the duochrome is for. But I mean, there's nothing that's really grabbed me from her. That's not saying like I don't think the brand is good or whatever, but
yeah.
I'm keeping an eye out to kind of like, if there's something that interests me, I'm not like saying, oh, I'll never buy anything from them. They are available on Cult Beauty if people care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's basically come out with these gel eyeliners. So they're $13 each, and they do come in 13 shades. I don't think the shades are anything that wild or interesting. Like they're kind of like, oh, okay. Like MAC came out with more interesting ones recently. And when MAC is more interesting than you, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's because some of the colors seem to match up with some of those eye paints that they had previously. So I'm wondering if that's why they picked these particular colors, because I remember them having kind of like these greeny ones and these yellowy ones. So I'm wondering if that's what they did it so it can kind of go together.
Possibly. I mean, that is as good an explanation as any there was, but it does feel a little bit of a random thing. And they also then have their Brow Artist, which is essentially a brow pencil with a spoolie, and that's $16, and they come in 8 different shades. But I was looking at the website because it is available now, and I did see they had a lot of like dark shades and kind of like taupey shades. But I always find it really sad that they, like, so many brands don't cater for redheads when it comes to like brow products. And I'd have thought that maybe Halsey would do something on that, but unfortunately, no. I think that's such an underrepresented group, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't find it interesting at all. I was very confused about the promo pics.
It looks like they just kind of threw some stuff down and went, oh yeah, just throw that out, let people know that we're doing something.
Do you know what it felt like? Like a staff night out, and they're like, fuck lads, did you forget the tactic for tomorrow and the gremlins to quickly take the pictures, put her boobs in there, that'll help sex sells.
There we go, that explains the boobs, right? Half cut boobs, there you go.
I mean, honestly, it was a very confusing. So I felt very like late 90s. You know, like how in the late 90s they were using sex to sell like everything. They're like, you need a new car? Sex. Do you need tomato ketchup? Sex. Do you need new eyeliner? Sex. So, you know, nostalgia, alive and well. When I put it to you guys, 41% of you love it. And we're now moving on to a very odd fucking collaboration. Yeah. And I say collaboration in the most loose sense. This is between Hip Dot and kind of Girl Scouts. Now, I say kind of because if you look at their website, because this is live now, yes, they do have the license to use Girl Scouts image. However, none of the proceeds are going to Girl Scouts, which I don't know about you lads, but that gives me a little bit of an iffy feeling. I don't like it. Girl Scouts are, of course, a charitable organization. They're really great for like social skills and learning and fun and all the other things. I know that for a lot of people, this means a lot to them. So I was kind of really shocked. I'd even put down on their Instagram, I was like, is anything going towards the Girl Scouts? And my comment hasn't been replied to. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, they have these, like, I mean, what can I really say about it? They have the 2 palette and they are $16 each. I will say that when you look at the palettes themselves, there's nothing bad about them. I don't dislike them. I quite like the colours of the 2 of them together. So much so that that's why I have them meet me in the underworld.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
And I had to look close because at first was like, oh, they're missing the cookies, Girl Scout cookies. And then it's like, if you look really closely at the photos, then you can see that's kind of their inspiration, but it's totally lacking. It doesn't read Girl Scouts, Girl Scout cookies to me. Like just putting a couple cookies on the outside of pictures on the outside of the lipsticks. I don't know. It doesn't, it's another like half-assed job at it. Like you could have gone so cool and made this so good look, so amazing looking.
I agree.
Right?
It feels like they had these like in their stock and they were like, fuck, we need something to sell this. Like even the lipsticks are like, oh, okay. I guess, and then a random like brush duo. What the fuck's like? No. I don't know what Hip Dot is. I don't know what they're doing. They need to stop with the collabs. I want to see what they are like because this is nonsense.
I had gone on their website, like, I guess a couple years ago to see, like, did they do anything? And they did have a couple palettes that were their own, but since then it's just been one lame collab after another. Like, it's not even interesting stuff.
No, it's, I genuinely cannot get over, like, how crap. I think more what gets me is the packaging is so meh. Now, if you wanted, you could get the whole thing together for $84, right? And here's the thing, right? The 2 palettes are $16 each, so that's $32. If you wanted to get the lipsticks, that's $20, so we're up to $52. And then if you wanted to get the brush duo, that's $16, so we're up to $78. So that's right. If you got the whole set together, they're charging you an extra $6 for the box.
The box,
what?
which isn't even exciting. It's just a green box that says Girl Scouts Hip Dot.
Yep.
It's not even something you'd want to put like Kaleidos does, where you want to stick on your vanity to look at it because it's such beautiful packaging. It's just a green box. It says
I don't think they understand how bundle deals are meant to work.
It's supposed to save money. Yeah,
it's badly done, and the fact that they're not giving anything to Girl Scout, that pisses me off. Because it'll be like, I don't know, like pairing up with like an epilepsy foundation and then being like, we've used their logos and we've paid for their logos, but we're not giving any money towards it. I'd be like, what is this about? Like it doesn't make any sense. When it's a charitable organization, fucking do something. So it pissed me off. Like the products themselves, interesting colors. I do like them when you see them together, but no Hip Dot. I'm pissed off at you. We're not friends. Don't you be trying to come to my birthday party. Not allowed. When I put it to you guys, 9% of you love it. So there you go. And then Fenty have their new Poutsicle Hydrating Lip Stain. So they say that it instantly moisturizes the lips with bright, vivid shades, satin finish, and it comes in 4 different shades. There's Berry Banger, there's Strawberry Sangria, Zesty Bestie, and My Type. And apparently it's coming soon on their website into Sephora, but it is apparently available here in Europe. I don't know if it's here in Ireland, because sometimes people forget that Ireland is in Europe, but I have been refreshing my Boots page to see, because I like a lip stain. I have scrawny lips. So sometimes a little bit of liner and a nice lip stain. Mwah, beautiful.
All their lip products are good. I've not been disappointed by anything. I'm not a gloss person. Love their gloss bombs. Their liquid lips, like that Stunna lip paint is some of the, and I'm over liquid lipsticks, except for when it comes to them. Like every lip product I've tried, the pumpkin rose, like everything has been amazing. So this is definitely something I would possibly stick in my radar. This is a good summer if you just want a little bit of color when you're at the beach or whatever. That would totally go really well.
And I think that's the thing, like it's perfect for the season. Nobody wants to put a big whack of makeup on when it's like 5 million degrees outside. I mean, a lip tint, yeah, I'd actually be okay with that. I'd be like, okay, this feels nice. And I believe it was Cecily that was kind of saying to me that the design of the component, and I didn't clock this, it's partly made so that, you know, it won't roll away, which nice.
Yeah.
But she was also saying it's probably going to be more friendly for those with disabilities. So
I could see that. Yeah.
So, do you know, I don't know if that was like purposeful or if they meant to do that. It is in line with a lot of their packaging so far. I like it. I could be tempted with these, and I have been tempted with Fenty in the past. Can't help it.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, if I was at Sephora and I saw one there, I could see myself putting one into a basket for sure.
Fair. Anyways, when I put it to you guys, 53% of you ended up loving it, which I think is fair. Lip stains aren't for everyone. Some people like a full lip, to which, you know, fair. This is Trixie Cosmetics, and this is their Road Tripper collection. So they have the Flower Power Bronzer Highlight Trio. They come in 4 different kind of styles. That's $32. There's the Bestie Scented Lip Balms, and they come in like a pear, a marshmallow, a strawberry, pink frosting, pomegranate. They're $12 each, or you can bundle all 5 of them together for $50. They have 2 face brushes, and they also have like some pink sunglasses and general accessories. When I saw the balms initially, I thought it was a liquid blush, and I got overly excited, and I was like, yes, because I really want to get something from Trixie Cosmetics at some point. I want to support her, but so far nothing has actually kind of tickled my pickle, so to speak. And I was like, if it's a fucking liquid blush, and I got overly excited, and then I was like, oh no, it's a lip balm. Yeah. Okay.
I'm actually kind of excited about it. I watched her launch video. The lip balms were more for her. She says that she has a lot of fans that don't like makeup and don't wear makeup, but they still end up watching her videos. So she says this, especially the clear one, she's like, this is for you. She says it might be another 10 years until there's something else for you that's not super colorful. But for those who like to wear lip balms all the time and just want to share a little bit of color, or really like, you know, something that smells really good, she says these are for you. And then I liked her the way she did the 3 pan bronzers. That one is a highlight, one is a lighter shade, which could be your winter shade, and then the next one could be if you've gotten a little sun, and then you can also mix them together. And that she made that the pans were big enough, at least 2 out of the 3 were big enough to use her brush, so you can do nicely without hitting the other colors. And then that little blush, or the little brush that she has for highlight, she said it fits nicely in that corner, because she likes to do just very targeted highlight, not put it all over. So she says with the 2 brushes and then using that set, then you can get a great look. And I'm kind of obsessed with bronzers lately. I don't know where that came from, being pale and rarely using them, but somehow I've been obsessed. And then that daisy packaging is so cute.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think my quibble in terms of the bronzers is they probably don't go deep enough for some people, but that's just me wondering about these things.
And she talked about that as well, though. And she says because she's a small brand and she didn't know, because she's known for more colorful stuff, how it's going to do, they try to make it as encompassing as possible. And then that's why she says what they did the 2 shades in each one so that we have a lighter and a darker, so you don't have to buy several compacts. And she says, and if this does really well, then they're hoping to expand further. But this is their first complexion product. So with it being a first, she doesn't know how it's going to go. So if it goes really, really well, then they'll be able to put the money into expanding it. But if nobody wants it, then, it's, I guess, especially now that she's got her motel, I guess, where are you putting all the money, right? So she did talk about that. And the dark one looked pretty good. I didn't think it would cover anybody that was super chocolatey in a skin tone. Yeah. But like I was glad that she at least mentioned it, that they tried there to go, with enough that they hopefully that's a decent first start to see how complexion with her goes.
Yeah, so I respect that. I mean, particularly when you're talking about like a brand that is still relatively new and they don't have like the same resources as some other companies that like still refuse to cater for darker skin tones, to which I'm like, do you know what, that's fair enough. I'm not going to give them like any flack over that. There's nothing there that's wildly interesting to me, and I think because Trixie is hard for me to get here. Like, I think if it was one of those things that if I walked into a store and it was there, I probably would walk out with it, having purchased it, obviously. I love the little compact that it comes in. I think that's really, really cute, but this one isn't for me, and I'm waiting for something that she does that is for me, and then I will jump on it and it will be mine.
No, 100%. No, it's been the same. Everything that she's released so far, there's been stuff that's tickled my interest, but not enough to pay the amount of shipping and time to get it. So this has kind of been the first thing that's kind of interested me. And I kind of like the sunglasses too.
Yeah.
I'm not that much of a merch person, but I thought those were very my vibe. So.
Oh, 500%. Yeah. I think it's cute enough. When I put it to you guys, 28% if you loved it. So there you go. Then we have Makeup by Mario, and he has the new skin transformer. So there's technically 2 different items here. We have the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer, and that's a complexion balm that warms, tints, and evens skin tones with a dewy finish, coming in an all-inclusive 6 shades. That's right. And then we have the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector, a blend of perfecting powders that blur, illuminate, and set skin with a radiant glowing finish, and that comes in 5 shades. And by the time you're watching, that is available now.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. I own exactly 1 Makeup by Mario. I got sucked in by Teresa is Dead for one of his highlighters, and I love it. It's one of my favorite highlighters, but that's the only thing from his whole line since he started that's interested me. And again, this seems to be another let's jump onto the skin balm, powder balm type thing, and lacking in shades.
And I think it pisses me off more that it's lacking in shades because he's a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Like, why do it if you're a makeup artist and you can't do the full thing? Like, and here's the thing, like with balms, you can get away with like less amounts of shades. You can, because it isn't as full coverage. Instead of having your 30 shades, you could have it down to 14.
Yeah.
But this is abysmal. Like several shades of Caucasian whateverness, and then 1 token shade in there. Like, I cannot get over that. And then even with like the skin perfecting, like, what? No.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a no for me as well. But yeah, no, and that's the thing. When a lot of brands, if they're not super inclusive via their being really small, or that's just who they want to cater to, okay, fair enough. You make your stance. But when you're a makeup artist that works on all different people and you're trying to sell this line of makeup to other makeup artists and then, fans along the way, you would think that he would have had at least a dozen shades.
Yeah.
At minimum, right? And I think by this point, especially being in Sephora, he has to have the money to be able to do that. And I think once you've got the formula, it can't be that much different to add a little bit of a little bit of brown or a little bit of red and brown to do some different undertones and some different shades.
But it's not going to work for makeup artists either, because if you were a makeup artist, like what most makeup artists will do is they'll get like 3 or 4 foundations from that particular line and they'll mix so they can get, the shade that they want.
Yeah.
There isn't enough there for them to do that. So it's not even functional from a makeup artistry point of view. And I got the distinct impression when he started that his stuff was meant to be like, oh, this is a bit makeup artistry. And I was like, okay, I respect that. Like that's fair. That's your jam. This, it annoys me. It genuinely, like, you should know better.
And he doesn't even have a universal shade. I mean, you could say the same thing with the Danessa Myricks, that she has limited shades, but at least she has the universal one that you could mix another foundation with it, because like I said, I've used it as a primer, I've used it on its own, I've used it mixed with other foundations. It works all together, and you could use basically the clearish or whitish universal shade to make other shades, but he doesn't even have that to play around with, right? So you've already got your undertones in there.
I'm just saying, she glammed it better.
100%. Oh, 100%. And for what is this going to cost? Is there a price?
We don't know yet, but it's coming out as we're filming tomorrow. So I would imagine I'm going to ballpark this at being about 40-ish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Minimum. Not good enough, in my opinion. And I don't want to talk about it any longer because I'm just going to get myself annoyed. 33% of you ended up loving it. We are now, my friends, onto the sneak peeks, and I'm sorry, it's not a good one. It's actually like a painful one. Ulta, fuck you, Ulta, frankly, have done Thor Love and Thunder collection, and I am so fucking confused by this. Now, hopefully I've got a better picture than what I have right now, and if not, well, that's Ulta's fault. But they're these 2 9-pan palettes, which, by the way, one of the palettes pisses me off, actually, because it's an 8-pan palette and they've made it so that the bottom pans piss me off because they're not perfectly aligned, and it's stressing me out. And then there's another 9-pan palette and they, by the way, slap together, and I'm like, no, just no, the colors are atrocious. I think even if we took into account that this is probably quite bad lighting, terrible, absolutely terrible. What about this, says Thor? What about this, says Marvel? Fucking dreadful.
And they're known for really bad, like their collabs are bad, and then the quality is always crap. Like it's not using, how ColourPop has their good formula and their bad formula. It's just a bad formula, bad collab. Yeah. You know what you're getting into if you fall for this boring, dusty. Yeah.
Like literally, I cannot think of anything positive to say. They have a whole bunch of shit and emphasis on shit. Between $12 and $30, no, not fucking worth that. Save your coin, don't fucking bother. I'm done with it. 24% if you love it, and I'm going to say it right now, that 24%, go and take a long hard look in the mirror.
The only thing I could say is either they clicked by accident because they were like, oh, Thor, yeah, Marvel, because I love Marvel, but I wouldn't do this. Or they're a Marvel fan and they just want it because it's Marvel, regardless of how absolutely terrible it is. Like there's nothing. I mean, I guess worst case, if you want to sport something that says Thor, maybe get a lip gloss, but those shadows the packaging is shocking.
Oh, it's so bad.
Shocking.
Like I can't remember anything recently that I've seen that's that bad.
And they put, it says here, there's a little note here, psst, these break apart. So I guess palettes go,
like, with Millie Bobby Brown's brand. That was such a success. People really loved that. I have enough fucking stress in my life without my palettes coming apart. I'm talking about that as if I would ever buy this. No, and actually, if I was ever taken hostage, this is now my new like safety thing to tell you that I've been taken hostage and I'm not safe. God, I'd really love that Thor Love and Thunder collaboration with Ulta.
I really like my palettes to pull apart.
That's how you know I'm in danger. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Anyways, we are on to our very last thing, and at the moment all we can see is the outside of the palette, and Give Me Glow is basically coming out with some bronzers. I'm already quite interested. I like Give Me Glow. Anything I've ever had from them, I've had very positive experiences. The formula is there. They're an indie brand, but they know what they're doing. They really do. They think about, you know, inclusivity. So I suspect that they're going to have a decent shade range when it comes to bronzers. So
and it's not named anything weird.
Yeah,
it's not a bronzer or whatever else people are coming up with. It's just a bronzer. You're bronze.
Not trying to reinvent the wheel. We don't need it. Dreadful. Yeah.
No.
I'm excited by this, and I kind of like the packaging as well. It's given me kind of sort of like, you know, the balm.
Yeah. It does have kind of that retro tiki-ish kind of.
I like it. I think it's perfect for summer. When I put it to you guys, 32% if you love it, which I think is fair considering we don't know what it looks like yet. So I'm assuming we're all being very tentative. But that means that is the end of the episode. Well done, you. Go and reward yourself with a biscuit. But I do have my favourite comment, and I'll be honest, Mitchell has commented on my videos before, but I've never thought it was actually Mitchell. I was like, sure, Mitchell. But no, this is actually Mitchell, and he said, love this video as always, Teresa. Me and Be Perfect don't use the same factory, by the way. We are completely separate. Really saddens me that they blatantly copied my original shades. No imagination or creative input, I guess. Hope you're both well. So I was very confused, and yes, thanks for watching, Mitchell. I know I talk an awful lot of trash, but there you go. Enjoy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I did. I enjoyed that. But anyways, friends, that is it. You know the drill. You go and you find Chloe, save the victory roll, right? That's all you do. Just type in save the victory roll. If you're too lazy to go down to the description box, save the victory roll. It's the same across Instagram and the same on YouTube. She's made it simple for you guys. So go follow her. You'll enjoy it. Go check out her Janessa Myrick's video. I'm just saying. Right, because I've been thinking about that solidly since I saw that video. I'm like, I'm on the band. Anyways, do please like, comment, and subscribe to the two of us, and do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.